Good afternoon, Cross Timbers. Today is Thursday, November 5th, 2020, and I am Kiah Fischer. Erath County Sheriff winner, 2020 presidential election, China suspending entry, and more coming up next on Texan TV. In campus news, fraternity and sorority life will be hosting their yearly Alpha Gamma Rho Angel Tree. Students, staff, and faculty can stop by the booth in the Charlton Student Center on the first floor from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. on November 9th and 16th, or visit the Office of Fraternity and Sorority Life in the Student Center on the second floor in room 201J to adopt an angel. In local news, the Erath County Elections Office released that the unofficial Erath County Sheriff winner was incumbent Matt Coates. The Stephenville Empire Tribune reports that Coates had a strong win over challenger Paul Tyus with a difference of over 10,000 votes. Along with sheriff elections' proposition of raising hotel taxes 2%, won approval from voters with a total of 4,614 votes. As far as the national stage is concerned, over 13,000 of Erath County's 24,064 registered voters made sure to hit the polls and contribute to the 2020 presidential election. For more information on the Erath County elections, make sure to check out your StephenvilleTexas.com. And now today's Texas, national, and international news from the Associated Press. This is a big week for Texas as Election Day arrived, and as predicted, Texas has stayed red. Texas has predominantly been red for 26 years, which is the longest active streak among the other 49 states. This election was very close across all states, even in Texas, as Donald Trump won the state with 52.2% of the votes needed to secure the Electoral College votes. There was some success for the Democratic Party, though, as they held on to two of the congressional seats that were flipped in 2018. In national news, on Wednesday, Trump supporters and anti-Trump supporters at a Detroit voting center were arguing outside about counting votes. Michigan has been on edge over the past few months over the fear that there would be political violence as we get closer to Election Day. Protests in Detroit began to just shortly before Joe Biden declared victory on Michigan. There were multiple accounts of video footage and reports that people were gathered all around the convention center in downtown Detroit, yelling "Stop the votes" and "Stop the counts." Similar protests are starting to spring up across other major cities in accordance with the election. We may soon see riots and protests across our nation. In international news, China is suspending entry for most foreign passport holders who reside in Britain after an increase of corona cases in the United Kingdom. The suspension covers those holding visas or residence permits issued prior to November 3rd, with exceptions for diplomats and some others. China has contained the spread of coronavirus within the country but continues to record imported cases, including another 20 reported recently. China officials require all people arriving in China to undergo 2 weeks of quarantine. The Chinese embassy in London says the suspension will be assessed in accordance with the evolving situation, and any adjustment will be announced accordingly. Foreign nationals wishing to visit China for emergency needs may apply for special case visas. In sports, Dallas Cowboys quarterback Andy Dalton was placed on the reserve COVID-19 list on Tuesday. This list, which is compiled of NFL players who have tested positive or who are at risk of having COVID-19, helps the NFL keep track of cases in the league. Dalton did not test positive or negative yet, but must quarantine until test results come back. With this placement, Dalton will miss a second straight game for the Cowboys. After he missed last week's game against the Philadelphia Eagles due to a concussion he received 2 weeks ago against the Washington football team. Dalton is the first Dallas Cowboy to be placed on the reserve list since the season began. In this absence, backup quarterbacks Garrett Gilbert and Cooper Rush will compete in the practice this week to determine who will start against the undefeated Pittsburgh Steelers this Sunday. And now for weather, we turn to Landon Davis.
Good afternoon, Texans. You can expect a clear day with a high of 75 and a low of 55. And tomorrow, a high of 78 and a low of 49.
This has been a production of Texan TV News, a product of the Texan News Service, from the Charleston State University campus in Stephenville, Texas. Watch us live on Apogee Channel 2.1 in the dorms at 12:30 weekdays. If you live off campus, tune in on Northland Cable Channel 9. You can follow the Texan News Service on Facebook and Twitter, and check out our website at www.texannews.net for all of your latest local, state, national, and international news. Today's broadcast was produced by Hannah Eckwall, Kiah Fischer, Landon Davis, Garrett Evans, and Jacob Hernandez. Have a wonderful day, Texans.